Hey, BookTube, Sean here. Sorry for the weird lighting. I just noticed this as I hit record. I have a broken lampshade over here, and the sun is behind some shit and causing some really weird lighting. So I apologize for that. My Fitbit's telling me to go for a walk. So this video is going to be my May MBR, TBR/MBR, mostly the books that I'm kind of thinking about for this month, things I'd like to get to. It's a big list. It's kind of a big list, so I know I'm not going to get to everything, but this is kind of what as I think about it, what I'm in the mood for right now. I could get to some of these. I could get to, and some of them I know I will get to, but there could end up being books that aren't even on this list that I do read. But this is kind of what I'm thinking about right now. This really is kind of a ghostly light situation going on here right now. This is weird. So let's get into it. First of all, I am participating in the one readathon to rule them all. So I will link my TBR for that because that is good first. That goes to the 14th, so that's a good chunk of May. That TBR covers. But I read a ton of stuff at the time, so I'll still be reading other stuff while I'm reading those books for that. And if you saw my week in books, you know I have a buddy read going on with Stephanie, if that's what she read. That may be finished by now, by the time you're seeing this, but that is in the Valley of the Sun by Andy Davison. So the books that I'm kind of thinking about, there's a lot of horror on this list, because a lot of the fantasy is covered in the one readathon to rule them all. There's a little mixture of a couple other things too that are not horror or fantasy. So Monday, I posted a video asking you guys to vote on one of the books that I need to read and review, which one you would like to see me read and review first. And I will link that video below if you have not seen it. So that will be one of the books. I want to get into that, whatever book is picked on that, once the one readathon to rule them all is over. So the viewer's choice read and review book is one of my May MBRs. That one actually will be a TBR because I will dig into that shortly after I announce the winner. I mentioned in my week in books that this was definitely going to be on here. My best friend's Exorcism, about two childhood best friends, and one of them gets possessed, and it's a love letter to the 80s and a fun possession novel. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I've been so excited to read this. I finally got a copy of it. So this is by Grady Hendrix, and I'm definitely going to get into this one in May. I am really excited about this one. The next one I'm thinking about is House of Illusions. Oh, the light's really going to catch this. House of Illusions by Ruby Jean Jensen. This is an old zebra horror paperback. I don't really know much about it. I just have heard some good things very recently about Ruby Jean Jensen as a horror author, and all of her books are out of print, so I hadn't heard of her until I started following some people on Twitter who collect all these old paperbacks. So she's kind of a recent horror novelist that I've heard about, and I've been trying to find good women horror authors, and so I definitely want to try and get to this next month. The next one, I'm just going down my list, is Cypher by Kathy Koja. Again, I don't know a ton about this book. I know it won the first novel Bram Stoker Award in 1991. It was a tie year between that and Prodigal by Melanie Tem. And once I get done with In the Valley of the Sun, I'm going to go diving right into the Stoker First Novel Award winners because I want to read those. And I'm even thinking about doing a review series of the Bram Stoker First Novel Award winners. So leave me a comment. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see me do, is a review series of the Stoker First Novel Award winners. Because that's like I said, that's something I'm thinking about. The next one I'm considering. Actually, I really do want to get to this one. So this is mostly like going to be a TBR title. Nightmare Room by Chris Sorensen. This is a haunted house story. Rachel at the Shades of Orange just raved about it. Both in a review video and to me on Voxer. So I've also seen this. It is also on that list I talked about a few weeks ago for the Horror Writers Association, the list they work off of for the Stokers. So it looks like it might be in consideration for next year's Stokers. So I definitely want to get to that one, and I'm really, especially as much as Rachel liked it, I'm really excited to get to that one. The next one I am working on a little bit. I've read the first story, and this is Tales from a Talking Board, edited by Ross Lockhart from Word Horde Press. This is one that I asked for to review. So I'm going to be reading the short stories in this kind of between things, and there will be a review coming of this this month. I am going to get it done this month. The Revelation by Bentley Little. Again, this is a Bram Stoker First Novel Award winner. And I don't know a lot about it, but I'm going to get into those. So it's either I may not get to both Cypher and Revelation this month, but I do think I'll get to one of them. Kill River by Cameron Robeek. I bought this book, and then he sent me with this Disco Death Trap, which is another one of his, and I haven't gotten to it yet, and I really want to because some other people on Twitter have been getting to his books, and I keep hearing about all the 80s slasher fun, and I want to be part of all the 80s slasher fun because I love 80s slasher movies. So I would like to get to this. Entropy Bloom by Jeremy Robert Johnson. This is a book of short stories by Jeremy Robert Johnson. Stephanie and I are actually going to read this once we're done within the Valley of the Sun. So that is definitely a TBR title. Swan Song by Robert McCammon. I've read the first few chapters of that. That's my next big long book to work on my goal of reading my longer tomes. So I want to get more into that this month. There's a book called The Goat Parade by Peter N. Dudar. If I'm reading my writing correctly, there'll be a picture of it up here. Again, that is on that Horror Writers Association list of possibilities for the Stokers. So I'm going to try my best to keep up with the books I'm interested in on that list so that I have a good head start for next year's Stokers. Viewer's Choice book, I already talked about that. Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, I'd really like to get to. I've been hearing great things about that lately because it is one of the books nominated for Booktubers SFF Awards. So people are reading it and then talking about it, and it sounds really good. Assassin nuns. That just sounds fantastic. Just those two words by themselves are enough to make me want to read that book. Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. I actually started reading this late last year, I want to say. I never really talked about it, but it just wasn't... I started reading it and I realized I really wasn't in the mood for it, so I put it aside. I was enjoying it, I just wasn't in the mood for it. But I've been kind of craving reading it lately, especially since the second book in the series is out, and I've been hearing second book's called Armor of the Sphinx, and I've been hearing a lot about it lately. So it's kind of gotten me craving reading Senlin Ascends. And this is a book about a man who goes on his honeymoon with his wife to see the Tower of Babel, and she disappears, and he has to search for her up the levels of the Tower of Babel. I've heard really, really great things about this book. I actually haven't heard much negative about it. So I've kind of been getting in the mood to read it. Lock-In by John Scalzi. This is actually my autographed. I have it on Kindle too, but this is my autographed copy of it. And he just released a second book in this world called Head On, which I didn't normally. Scalzi is a automatic pre-order author for me, but because I hadn't read this yet, I didn't pre-order it because I want to read this first, and I didn't want that one staring me in the face when I hadn't read this one yet. So. This is about a disease that makes people immobile, and there's a lot of in and out of body jumping. I guess I don't know. I know a little bit about it, but not a ton. But Scalzi is one of my favorite authors, so I'm pretty sure I'll probably enjoy it. Sorry, I'm bulk recording today, and I ran out of water, so my voice is getting a little rough. Another one I want to get back to. I started. And I've really been kind of feeling it lately too. I started it not too long ago, probably late last winter. I started it, but then never really got too far into it. But I was enjoying it. The writing was fantastic. But that's The Czar of Love and Techno by Anthony Mara, and this is a collection of short stories that are all centered around a single painting. So it's a connected group of short stories, but it jumps back and forth through history in Russia. With a tying thread of a particular painting. So I've been kind of really feeling getting back to this lately. So I'd like to see if I do. And the only other thing I've been kind of wanting to get to lately and haven't is The Lost Book of the Grail by Charlie Lovett. And this is a mystery centered around the Holy Grail. I read the description once when I hauled this book, and with my voice getting kind of scratchy now, I don't really want to, and I still got a couple more things to record. I'm trying not to read too much of descriptions right now, but it is really intriguing, and yeah, something I've been kind of feeling lately too. Even though I've been in a huge horror mood, I do have these other couple things that are non-horror that I've kind of been jonesing for a little bit. So that's it. That's my May TBR/MBR. We'll see what I get to. Whatever I get to, I'll talk about in my weekend books. And that's it. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, hit the subscribe button to know when I post new videos, and I will see you all in my next video.